let's do a Tango Night recap for our classes on the, I don't know what the date is, something like the 8th of October, which was Monday. We did have a class on Thursday, which was the 9th, so it can't be the 8th.
No.
It must be the 6th. So Monday the 6th of October. The class we taught on the 8th had some of the contents that we covered in the Nuevo all day, which will also be in this held in Cardiff on the 11th of October. So on Monday we finished our 6-week beginner course and we looked at heroes. So naturally we started off with a cross. So we started off with an outside system of walking, going through into the forward cross. This was covered in week 3 of the course. We then twisted our chest to pivot the follower onto her left leg, and then did a clockwise hero by rotating the chest to the right to bring the follower around in a forward step and a pivot into a side step, and pivoting her backwards and taking a back step and into the side. So we had a clockwise hero. We then looked into adding some sacadas. So from our cross into the hero, as the forward steps are in this forward step phrase, I'm stepping between her legs with the right leg, twisting my foot towards the right, chest is still heading towards the right, and step onto this foot to get the first sacada, and then there's an opportunity for a second sacada. I taught this with Tara, so I don't know why she sat there. I don't know why I'm not demoing this.
Guessing.
We're demoing this with her. From there we looked into adding some soltadas. So we looked at 3. The first one was from this back step phase here, where if I take the arm over the follower's head, being careful to lift the elbow up and avoiding the follower's elbow, she will pivot on both feet, and she's now into the forward step phase of the hero, allowing us to continue. We also looked at using a soltada for the followers to change the direction of the hero. So again, from our cross, sacada, back step phase, bringing her through into the next forward step phase. So I can either pivot her around in the other direction by lifting the hand overhead, and we can take our hero anti-clockwise. Or from that forward step phase, I can pivot her around, continue the pivot by lifting the arm overhead. This is much harder, but again, the follower to turn on one foot. And from the other direction, and from the whole sequence, adding that one in, here is our cross, sacada, back step phase, forward step phase, spinning soltada, and then taking it out. And then the final one was to add in a leader's sacada. No, not leader's soltada, that's the one. So from the cross, sacada, step past the follower, come back round to meet her, and we can then take this into the anti-clockwise here as well. So that concluded our 6-week beginner course. Now our Monday class is just, well, there won't be one Monday class this week on the 13th, but we are back to normal Monday classes after that. Okay, now we're into our Nuevo all day in Cardiff. So this consisted of 3 workshops. The first one was unusual Volcadas. So for this we started off with some forward ochos, and then looked at adding in alterations. So alterations are similar to sacadas, but instead of stepping between the follower's legs here and waiting for the leg to start moving out the way, and then stepping behind and getting this rotation. So we talked about the timing of this. It tends to be a quick for the leader to step through, so we get this sort of nice flow to the move. And the reason why we're doing that is because I need to be able to change my place relative to the follower for this unusual Volcada. So, as she steps across, I'm going to sink her down, and as I step through, I'm going to come up to height, which causes the leg to come up. And I'm making sure that she comes behind. I'm in this sort of T-junction position, because I want her to end up behind me, or on my side, so this leg is behind, so I can then take a side step to the left and get this little lunge, which will get her leaning on my sides. This is our unusual Volcada, so it's more like a front to side rather than your usual front to front Volcadas. We talked about the difference between, for the leaders, sinking into both legs to get this, or doing a more aesthetic one where you're straight on one leg and bending into the other. This gives the follower a much deeper lunge with this. But the safety of this is her leg can always go down onto the floor. We can also add in some leg wraps from here, so as I lean the follower into it, she can bring her leg through and hook on mine. And then the exit for this, we can either send her out into a sort of back step and walk out, or we, like a normal Volcada, we can take this into a cross by bringing her back, creating that space by moving my front foot a little bit, put my chest forward. She's going to pivot in front to straighten her up, and we can walk out. So that was workshop 1. Workshop 2 was beyond the octopus. So we were referring to octopus enganches, which are these fins. We were making these a little bit more bigger. I suppose is the best way to describe it, by adding in Soltadas. So we started off by leader's weight on the right foot, leading the follower to take a side step to the left by twisting our chest towards the left, stepping in between the follower's legs with the left leg to lead a Sacada. And as I do this, I'm going to turn this into a Soltada by bringing my left hand in front and go with the right, taking it over the follower's head, and this laterally leads her into this gancho. You can come back out from. We then added in a leader's Soltada. So from our Sacada, Soltada, gancho, I can take the hand through the middle, turn myself, so the follower's leg straight in between, and I can then step back through and lead her out. We then did this sort of gancho Soltada sequence then on the other side and continued it. So I'll try and talk through this while doing this. We have got our Sacada. No, we haven't, that's wrong. So we've got Sacada, Soltada, leaders Soltada, and as she steps out, I'm going to match that footstep, ready to get another gancho here, then another leaders Soltada, and I'm going to send my follower around, pivoting as I step round and through to get the gancho here, and then I'm going to basically walk around my follower, chaining these together. So that was the end of workshop 2. And finally we had workshop 3, which was experimental tango, which was so experimental we hadn't actually planned it. So for this we started off with a planeo. So from our forward ocho, as the leader steps to the left, they're going to lunge down to cause the follower to sweep the leg in. We then made it a bit more experimental by the leaders stepping through to meet the follower and doing a leader's shoe shine. So that could be classed as experimental in its own way. And then the leader stepping over the foot and then doing a second shoe shine with their back leg. We also have opportunities to do ganchos. And this is where it then started again, really experimental. Taking the hand over the top of the follower and then being able to lead her from side to side with the back. So this is almost like contact tango. I can then, as I transfer my weight to the left, pick up with my left hand on the follower's right, take it over her head, turn her and let go. She's going to place a hand onto my shoulder and I can lead her into a back step, and then we can effectively lead back ochos from behind. We could have picked up on the hands here. She's got her hands on my shoulders, but we could do it with a hand-to-hand hold as well. I can pause this at any point, and I can lead her into forward ochos by reversing the motion, and I can even get her to step through my legs. And then we can spin her out and come back out. So I think that covers everything we did. So it's now time for the Chinese.